Hey there! Welcome to SkyGems Academy podcast. At SkyGems Academy, our vision is to build a community of new generation leaders with strong core values, high level of self-awareness, high self-worth, and passionate individuals who will give back to the community and the environment. We are focused on delivering high-quality blended online learning of 21st century life skills delivered and taught online, practiced and perfected offline. Our philosophy is to inspire, educate, and nurture. We work towards inspiring and igniting sparks. We listen, we coach, we fine-tune and accelerate the mastery of 21st century life skills for various age groups. Our blended learning programs are curated from the early years to above 60 years old, as we believe in providing high-quality, lifelong learning for everyone. SkyGems Academy Podcast Series 1: How COVID-19 Transformed the Education Industry. We will take you inside the minds and behind the scenes of 40 exclusive leaders and educators in the education industry. We've interviewed 40 exclusive educators and leaders in the education industry worldwide, starting with China, where the pandemic initially started. You will hear from the leaders in the education industry sharing candidly their views on the possible changes that will take place in the education industry post-COVID-19. Be sure to tune in to SkyGems Academy Podcast Series 1 to listen and learn from the amazing stories, experiences shared, challenges faced, and techniques used by educators in different cities and countries to adapt and overcome their challenges personally as well as professionally in their respective roles in the education industry during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, let's dive into SkyGems Academy Podcast Series 1. Introducing to you our host, Alyssa.
Hey guys, it's Alyssa. Hope everyone is keeping well. SkyGems Academy Podcast is a passion project that my team and I kicked off in early 2020. As we are all facing the unprecedented events and experiences impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, we find that there is an urgent need to unite the global community of educators and leaders to progress forward together. Our main objective is to create a platform for all global leaders and global communities to come together to document these historic moments for our future generations. SkyGems Academy Podcast is a platform for everyone from all around the world to share, listen, learn, communicate, collaborate, and come together to network and help one another to pull through this very challenging period that has impacted the global community. In each episode of SkyGems Academy Podcast Series 1, How COVID-19 Transformed the Education Industry, you will find yourself immersed and engaged in in-depth discussions and thought leadership in various aspects of education, technology, humanity, diversity, disparity, and collaborations in the education space. We are very grateful and sincerely appreciate each and every one of you who has motivated us, encouraged us, contributed in your own very special ways, especially our 40 exclusive guest speakers from all around the world. A big thank you to all and a big shout out to all of you. SkyGems Academy Podcast 35th speaker is Günter Boos. Günter had started his teaching career at grammar schools since 1970. Since then, he has been a teacher's trainer, a university teacher at University of Frankfurt for 19 years, principal of Albert Einstein Gymnasium's grammar school in Mentau, Germany until the year 2000. In the year 2000, he came to Singapore and was the principal of German European School Singapore for 9 years. He was back in Europe and held many positions before settling down to his current position at the principal at Swiss International Boarding School, SIBSS. Günter enjoys exploring new ways of learning. He has a motto that is close to his heart: Nothing is made for eternity and carved in stone. Nothing is stable. Something can happen every time, every moment, every day. And we have to react rapidly, in a good way, in a positive way. Embrace change and new ways of doing things, said Günter. Now I'm pleased to present to you Günter Boos. Today, we have the honor and pleasure in his morning time in Frankfurt, Germany, Mr. Günter Boos. Hi, Günter. Welcome to SkyGems podcast.
Hello, Alisa.
A very good morning to you.
Nice to meet you on the phone, and I hope I can help you with questions to give them some maybe interesting answers.
Thank you so much, Günter. Looking forward to meeting you in person, either in Switzerland, Germany, or Singapore one day. Looking forward to that.
I hope so.
Thank you,
but
Günter.
This in the moment is one of the problems. No?
It is, isn't it?
Personally.
No way.
It's very hard to meet personally.
Absolutely.
And this is also for your first question, I guess, a little bit an answer.
Exactly.
I don't feel very well if I can't meet people, my friends around the world or our agents around the world. That makes me a little bit, I would say, unhappy.
We are all social animals, definitely. Günter, before we get started, why don't you go ahead and say hi to the audience and the listeners?
Okay. Good morning, everybody. It's now morning in Frankfurt, Germany. The weather is nice. We have summertime and the sun is shining very hot. We will get maybe 30 centigrades today. And this is very hot for Germany. And of course, everybody likes the weather, but at the moment people don't like to go out so much. They meet in parks, they meet in the city, they can go out. Also, we can go to some restaurants, but it's very restricted. We have to fill up a form. We have to look for our mouth protection, etc., etc.
Yes.
But of course, it's necessary.
Yes. It's for our own good, and also will help the authorities to help to save the community. So definitely. Yeah. Yes, Günter, thank you once again for joining us. And I'm sure today's SkyGems podcast episode will be a very interesting one. So we look forward to the... So. Yes, definitely. So Günter, we're all going through, as you said earlier, very challenging times and a lot of restrictions, a lot of challenges. Yeah. How do you feel about the current COVID-19 pandemic situation?
As I told you before, we have to take care. Everything is restricted. If I take the metro line in Frankfurt, I have to wear my mask. Everybody has to wear masks. And of course, people are very careful. That is the one on the good side. This is the thing that people are very careful. But at the end, there are always some crazy people that don't care about it, and the police have to intervene. It's not really nice, I would say. That is what I feel. It is a little bit uncommon. It's a little bit for Germany to be restricted, a little bit unusual, but it is necessary. Therefore, I'm a little bit, I would say, it have two hearts. One heart says, oh, give me the freedom. I want to go out without any restriction. On the other hand, my heart says it's necessary to protect yourself all and protect the others. Absolutely.
Well said there, Günter. And I think it's exactly what you just said. We need to take care of ourselves and the others. And unfortunately, this is a lot of challenges imposed, but it's good for ourselves and the community.
Yeah,
thank you, Günter.
We have to do it.
Yes.
That's necessary.
Totally necessary. I agree with you. Well, Günter, going through the COVID-19 pandemic, as you mentioned, all those challenges that you face, and I'm sure in the academic world, in the school that you manage in Switzerland, there are also some challenges faced. Could you share with us some of the challenges that you have faced during this period?
Yeah, the first challenge was to send the students back to their home countries. We do it very early. If for the first, I would say, inspirations that the problems will come, we send our students back to their home countries. Immediately, maybe some with the whole luggage is still in Switzerland, but we have everyday communication with the kids outside of a school. We have everyday internet connections, and we give them all the work they have to do. sometimes I would say much more than they do at school. But this is one of the things we have done. And of course, in school, there's infection, everything, etc., etc. And we hope to reopen the whole school and the 1st of September again.
Yes.
And therefore, we have to wait and give them all the workload via internet, via personal communication, whatever we are doing, our teachers are doing. We try to keep our students bond to the school and to have an open mind for the pandemic situation, that they are focused also on learning. But don't forget, there is a problem in the world.
Yes.
And we have to teach them not only math and languages, etc. We have to teach them also to be careful for you, to be careful for your community, take care of everybody, take care what you are doing. It's not the normal situation. That is what we have to teach them also.
There is a lot of different learnings and also different ways of doing things that you are going through,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We have to do it. But also we have to inform them about the situation in Switzerland regularly, what government has planned, what is the next steps, there are some backslashes or not, etc., etc.
Yep, definitely. So all those things we have to be mindful of and keep ensuring that we are very careful of our day-to-day.
And we have also to make them aware the situation is not finished. The situation can come back every hour, every day, every month, every year, maybe in other clauses, but the situation is not clarified.
Yeah.
There is no immunization at the moment, nothing. We have to keep them informed that they are not alone on the world.
Yes, very important message, for sure. So Günter, those challenges that you mentioned earlier, what are the changes that you have to make in order to adapt? And also, how do you overcome them?
Yeah, first of all, we are not a big school, therefore it was easy for us to say, okay, let's divide the groups in small groups. Let's say sit together with 15, let's say 6 or 8 together in one big room. This was one of the measures was taken or will taken also in autumn now. We have enough space, that's good. And we are giving much more lessons independent from a teacher, self-teaching, self-learning, and also internet learning. That is most of the important things, is how to learn to work with the internet learning platform. This is the most important thing. I guess more students and teachers are better than the teachers, the students. The teachers have to learn. We have to provide the teachers for this new situation. Not every teacher is used to it.
Yes. So how do you overcome those challenges that you mentioned, right? And as you say correctly, some teachers are not used to it. Yeah. So how do you help them? And also like the students, how do we help them?
We make some courses with a teacher. We have one experienced teacher in Leukerbad. He's not from my school, he is from a government school, but he is very well experienced. He was also working abroad, and as he come in, we give the teachers lessons and also individual lessons. Not only in a group or in a small group, we give them also in very special, personally, face-to-face learning with his teacher. And that helps a lot. We should encourage them to do so. Most of them are a little bit new things, people are afraid to make new steps, but we encourage them to do so. We all are not perfect in this situation, but we have not to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. And now they are used to it, they do it, and the students like it.
That's good. Yeah, I think we all can learn from this episode, right? Where we all have to learn new things and adapt very quickly. Yeah, and some may not like it, and some may like it, and some takes time to like it. Yeah, I think over time we just have to accept that the change is necessary. If not, we are not able to function.
No, this is not the future. This is reality we have to face. This is not something coming up in future. No, it's just existing and our day-to-day business. Therefore, the teachers have no time to say, oh, I will learn it somewhere, sometimes in the future. No, now and yet.
Yep, very well said. Very nice, Günter. So, Günter, during this period, with all those challenges that you faced and all those changes that you make to adapt, and also the challenges that you have overcome, could you share with us and also the listeners, what are the lessons learned so far?
Nothing is stable. You have to prepare for changes, quick moves, short time changes, the things quite new, maybe completely new. This is a lesson I have learned. And nothing is stable. This is my message. Something can happen every time, every moment, every day, and we have to react rapidly in a good way, in a positive way. And yeah, that is a lesson.
Yeah, big lesson there.
Be prepared for everything.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Günter. That's a really good message in terms of lessons learned. And Günter, in the current situation with the COVID-19, how do you think it has changed the education industry? And what are your views that will change in terms of education industry post-COVID-19?
I think the whole situation is not quite clear for everybody. From my understanding, it's a completely new situation also to deal with maybe agents, with parents come in the different countries. It's not only the deal with the students. Of course, we have also to deal with the students in the school, or we have to be prepared with good learning tools in the school, electronic learning tools. We have, of course, what I said before, our teachers must be prepared to switch immediately from standby level, from e-learning to the reality. And they have also to give, I would say, electronic lessons during the normal school period. Therefore, that the students and the teachers learning to handle the tools.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
That is one thing to check. And of course, we have to, I would say, talk to the parents quite often than before. Maybe every week, maybe every 2 weeks latest, we have to talk to the parent that everything is okay, together with the students. We shouldn't hide. We have to prepare openness everywhere. What is the real situation? Don't hide anything. That is one of my lessons I've learned. Don't paint the sky blue if it's raining. That is what I have learned.
Really being transparent and open about the situation is really important, isn't it?
Yeah. And of course to the parents and also to the agents, if you are in connection with agents.
Thank you so much, Günter. Those are so true and so direct. I like that. Thank you. I'm sure the listeners appreciate that transparency and honesty. Günter, I know you're going back to Switzerland next week and trying to restart the engine. What would your new normal be, or you are already facing a new normal right now? Would you be able to share with us?
The new normality will be, being careful, keep the distance to other people, if it be possible. Keep in mind the situation is not overcome. She is still there. Hygienic measurements you have to take, like disinfection material, etc., especially in boarding situations. You have to take much more care about hygienic problems, and that is what is a new normality. To be normal as possible, but with higher attention, much higher attention.
Alert and pay attention to details, Thank you so much.
And much more detail, more detail. Yeah.
For sure. Thank you, Günter, for sharing. Günter, now we come to the most important part of the podcast episode for today. What would your message or messages be for the future generations?
Yeah, this was a question I've long thinking over. From my understanding is, don't be depressed, but pay attention. And future generations should take the opportunity to learn. There's no excuse to say I can't learn because there is Corona.
Wow, that is short and sharp in terms of your message. Thank you so much, Günter, for sharing that message, and also very powerful message to our audience and also our future generations. Really, really appreciate your time and also your very frank and direct way of communicating to the audience. I love that. So thank you so much, Günter. I hope you enjoyed yourself in this SkyGems podcast episode recording.
Yes.
And I look forward to meeting you again. As I said, feel free to pop into Singapore when things are open up, and I'll definitely catch up over a meal. Looking forward to meeting you and working with you and collaborating with you. Thank you.
That would be great. That would be great. We are in autumn. I am looking also for somebody who is helping us in electronic learning, and you would be a good partner for
Absolutely.
this opportunity.
Looking forward to that discussion.
Yeah, it was great to work with you.
Thank you, Günter. Thank you so much for your time once again, and we look forward to having you in our next series of SkyGems podcast episode. Thank you so much, Günter. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thank you. Great greetings to Singapore.
Thank you so much.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode at SkyGems Academy Podcast Series 1 on the topic of how COVID-19 transformed the education industry. If you enjoyed today's episode and you love the vision and mission of SkyGems Academy, can you please help us to convince others to tune in to SkyGems Academy Podcast too? Please kindly subscribe to SkyGems Academy Podcast. Please also kindly leave a quick review and rate SkyGems Academy Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor.fm, Breaker, and various SkyGems Academy's podcast channels. That would mean the world to us, so thank you so much for your support. Visit our website at www.skygemsacademy.com to find out more about our distinguished speakers and about SkyGems Academy. We appreciate you and your continuous support. Thank you for tuning in to SkyGems Academy Podcast. High five and peace out!